All right, folks, welcome back. We are in. Sorry, I had to restart my game, so we had some problems there, which is why we needed that break. But we're back. It's game number 2, and this time the random gods, not super favorable, but a little bit more favorable. As this time he gets his main race in the bottom left side of Dusk Towers, the orange Terran Beastyqt.
And in the top right, as the red Zerg, he's my Insanity Serral.
Who as well gets his main race. So this is a
Mm-hmm.
best of 5. It's 1-0 in the favor of Serral, and in this second game, he does come in here. I wouldn't say with an advantage per se, but it is still the fact that you get your main race, you're always going to be happy. And I think for Beastie, he's obviously going to feel a little bit more shaky coming into it anyways. I would love, though, if Beastie takes us to that late game. Because shy of sort of and his Nidus Worms, watching people on many different streams, people are not dealing well with the late game Turtle Terran.
And Beastyqt was on the forefront a little bit with that. Calling hacks, because of course Zero got Zerg twice in a row. It's a best of 3, and I guess the
Nope.
consolation...
Nope.
Or, sorry,
5.
I meant to say best of 5. The best of 5, the consolation prize is that it's very unlikely that Sarah will get Zerg for the next 3 games. So even if he loses this one, hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, it's possible, of course. And there is no way to boost your chances. I want to make that very clear in case there's like that one guy in the audience. Like, it is 100% up to luck. We did get a very nice donation, by the way, during that commercial break. $50 from CK Walsh, subscriber to the channel. He says, first 10 games are over. TPZ win rates are 4-4 and 2. So nerf Terran 20, nerf Protoss 20, and nerf Zerg 10. Also, I'm pretty sure Zombie Grub is a Republican.
You say so.
I was gonna say, dude, I know that she doesn't love being labeled a Republican, but it's not gonna set her off like the same way. Just accuse her of being like a Korea boo or a fake Korean fangirl or something, or not a gamer girl. Touch her feminist roots. I think that's how you start triggering.
Oh no.
Sorry, I need
What
to
am I
not,
gonna
I
do?
need to not be the only one on this hate train.
What am I gonna do?
But anyways, yeah, thank you very much for $50. 10, 10, and or sorry, 20, 20, and 10. I will go update that right now actually, because I've been forgetting to do this a lot today. Do you think BC's gonna do the bunny build, by the way, since it is Dust Towers after all?
The bunny build?
Yeah.
Sure, why not? He's getting a 3rd CC pretty quickly though, so it's going to be later Liberators if it is Liberators. I thought you said Beastyqt build, and I'm like, oh, is that what we're calling it now? to just go to the late game on Dusk Towers? The official label of that?
No. It's talking specifically about the Liberators. Updated point scores, by the way, are $615 on Nerf Protoss, $444 on Nerf Terran, and $688 on Nerf Zerg. So Protoss is catching up to Zerg pretty quick.
What's wrong, guys? You haven't seen Ultras obliterate a Terran recently?
You might see it right here, actually. So he's not going to go for a bunny build. The Hellions are going to be coming across the map. And there's still a Liberator coming out, but not going for that fast Liberator range.
It is kind of weird to see Hellions, not just in general, but just the fact that it's after a 3rd CC. They're quite delayed, and yet still, Serral was not totally prepared for him. Lings, even like a small amount of Lings is enough to kind of mess up their targeting and does deal with them pretty well, so the suicide does not work out.
BC was definitely expecting to get drone kills off of that.
Yep. It did not happen, but the Hellions, like, they were later. It's unlikely you're going to do damage unless you really were catching the Zerg off guard, as they made no Lings and are trying to go to Roaches. They also weren't that expensive either. Oh my god, he's gonna go mech. Alrighty then, so...
He is aiming for that late game.
Yeah. Let's see if Serral has the correct response against it, however. Like, I do have faith that Serral's going to do well against Beastyqt's mech. That is, like, kill him before it gets too late.
Yeah, mech's not what it used to be, for those who don't know. Like, you're not doing this line of tanks and hoping for the best. In fact, what mech ends up being nowadays is, yeah, you're still going to have tanks and Hellion run-bys and all this good stuff, but you're going to specifically have the potential of ghosts added in. We've seen a lot of snipes out of players like Beastie. We've also seen Beastie and a couple others try to bring Thors back into it, but Thors are Thors are garbage cans. They're these really big things that are good at just, oh, you don't want money? Just throw it away and do a Thor.
Just burn it all.
I will say, in fairness, though, we've seen a couple of engagements where Thors actually didn't look too bad versus low amounts of Ultras, but those were things without support. Those that had no links, no infestors, nothing else around it.
Mm-hmm.
And in that case, even Bio looks fine versus Ultras if they have no support.
Thanks to Goat Profit for subbing 12 months in a row. Heyo, it's a Partoof.
1 year hype.
Oh, those Hellbats.
If they were Hellions, they could have run away.
Nope. The mutas coming out are just not very plentiful at all. Only 4.
For Halloween, you did dress up as Trump.
That's true. It was a great costume.
It was. But also may have been like some secret cosplay. You Republican.
Isn't Halloween just cosplaying?
Yeah, but
it's
like when the guys dress up as girls. You're like, oh, it's a joke, not something I've always wanted to do ever since I was little, but didn't have the courage to come out and do it publicly. This is psychoanalysis shit, you know?
That hates when they someone hates when like you call Halloween cosplay.
I do not care.
Okay, so that wasn't you. Maybe it was
bit of a problem coming in though. Liberators were killed, more are on the way, and there's no Thor made out quickly. So these couple of turrets and like single Liberator are really the only anti-air for Beastie. And this is another reason we're not seeing mech a lot anymore, because this kills everything. Like if you don't have air in the past, it was straight up game over. Now with Liberators, it's a little more manageable, and of course with Thors, it's the best case scenario, but Mutalisks in general are a bit of a pain in the ass to deal with early on. All these Hellions and all these tanks, but nothing really shoots up.
I wonder if Serral's going to be dropping a lot with those Overlords. I mean, bother getting Overlord speed.
Well, I mean, getting Overlord speed is going to be good. You're going to be able to maneuver around the map and spread these out a lot easier. But yeah, they're clustered up at the bottom, so I am wondering if that'll be drops later on.
Well, it'll certainly keep tabs on the gold base, which we saw. Was it Healer that went for the gold base and like no one saw it?
It was his opponent's, I believe, too. It wasn't even his, right?
No, I think it was Healer.
Oh, I'm thinking to another TVZ then. My bad. I wouldn't doubt it though. Healer was doing some cool stuff.
Yeah, they got the gold base, and just you didn't think about scouting, and your Overlords weren't spread out. So, I mean, there is less of a need to spread out versus mech players because you're not going to scout drops for the most part. They can still help at drop, but it's still also something that's free. Like it's free vision. You can make sure they don't get away with a hidden base. You can creep up bases as the game goes on longer and longer and longer.
So, Infestation pick comes up pretty quick, and he's just jumping straight to Hive. The question really does go, which direction is this, though? Because he's investing in range, he's investing in Hydras, not Lurkers. I mean, he'll probably eventually get Lurkers. But it's probably just going to be for Vipers. We may still see Ultralisks come out. They're not as good versus Mech as they are versus Bio, but they still have their role in the game. Pretty important one to play, but, oh, this spread out of Serral is actually really sexy. He's going to still pop off some mutas, but that could have gone way worse for him.
Yeah. Scans the Hive and sees that it's on its way, of course. Also sees the Roach Warren moving. That's pretty late Roach speed. But to see that it's going to be Roach, Hydra, Viper probably, and maybe a Greater Spire as he knows that there's a Spire out is not a surprise. You expect all of these things just in what order and at what time. Mad the Swine donates $10. Nerf Zerg! There we are. There's the Zerg hate. Also, I'm 100% positive Zombie Grub is a libertarian, socialist, Marxist, conservo-liberal kappa kappa.
That was a mouthful to say. That was like spaghetti soup. That was political spaghetti soup.
I was really proud that I was able to say it without messing up too badly.
Yeah, well, then $10 to the Nerf Zerg after this game is done. Providing I don't forget again, Ravagers are going to be a problem here. So this is why the tanks are staying unsieged without the medevacs to shimmy them around. That right there is why you don't want to siege them up. However, he is clearing up a lot of creep in the middle of the map. These Hellbats, surprisingly enough, they've got the health to tank Ravager shots. So the tanks don't have to be on the forefront. And I guess trying to control the middle of the map is pretty important. This is where we start seeing people put down planetaries and just create that one gross defensive line.
Oh, yeah. Ravagers get some nice shots, but to actually kill anything too important. The Liberators feel a little bit useless right now as they don't want to siege up. Here they go.
They have the same problem the tanks do. If you siege up, they become targets for the Ravager shots.
This one's getting some nice shots.
Well, I think the other part of it, too, is they want to make sure they were in anti-air mode for the Mutalisks and expecting...
Yep.
Baneling Nest on the way is kind of a cool thing to see out of Serral, but for BC, one of the more important things is he does take a fourth while this goes on. He's going to need that base, and he needs that gas.
Serral is having a tough time keeping this back.
Yeah, but the push right now isn't meant to... Like, he's not looking for kills on a base. This is just cleaning up, creeping in some map control. Serral might be best off just letting him come to him and waiting at the top of a ramp type thing. Nice catch on some tanks in the middle of the map. These Hellions, of course. Blue Flame will clean up the Lings. Parasitic Bombs go down. Parasitic Bomb damage was nerfed recently, so this isn't so terrifying, I guess you could say. It's still a problem, but as we see, not as devastating as it used to be. 60 damage instead of 90.
Upgrades are about to finish up for Serral, and his bank has exploded in the last minute.
Yeah, well, he's been expanding like crazy. I was going to say, I just realized he's going to take 3 Parasitic Bombs instead of 2 to kill Liberator now. I wonder if that's what they based the original numbers off of.
I don't know.
They're
actually used for abducts. Most of the tanks get abducted.
Killing the tanks is alright, but of course, as the Liberators are still a real big problem with this. He brought some SCVs to repair, which is kind of cute to see, but this Roach Ravager lines, they're getting weak, they're getting torn apart.
Well, it is just simple layer-based tech. I mean, the Vipers can only help out so much. There's no Hydras for DPS, there's no Ultras to soak up a little more damage, and it makes sense that, you know, the base mech army is doing well against what is a base Zerg army, too. The Vipers just aren't doing what they I think, really wanted to.
This is like everyone who mocks Terran, like, oh, what's wrong with Terran? Tier 1 can't kill Tier 3?
There we
cry
go.
About it?
But I think the Blind and Cloud's meant to be a lot better throughout the game. Yeah. Like, he was expecting, you know, bigger tank bundles, basically. But at the end of the day, in the fight, Serral does take a better fight. We'll see actually what happens with the day as Beastyqt, well, he's on 4 bases. You give Beastyqt enough time, I'll get another army, and then he'll turtle harder. Like, you know, thought pushing was a good idea, you're wrong.
So Vipers turn white before they die. Today I learned. That was really weird to watch. But I agree. But he's just gonna tap out.
He's not even gonna try.
I can kind of understand that. Like, he lost so much army there. He probably thought he didn't have enough to hold off a counterattack, and if he did, it'd be like a slow recovery.
Yeah.
I'm of the faith that BC could have played